European Union Times. This is disturbing. Russia reports nuclear explosions hit vast US military tunnel network. Posted by the EU Times on August the 24th. And it is Thursday the 25th in New Zealand, but it is the 24th everywhere else. Alright. A frightening foreign military intelligence directorate report circulating in the Kremlin today states that over the past nearly 36 hours, the vast intercontinental military tunnel complex constructed by the United States Air Force over the past nearly 45 years was hit with two powerful nuclear explosions at its main terminuses in Colorado and Virginia, used nearly exclusively by the CIA, Central Intelligence Agency. According to this report, this unprecedented nuclear attack began on the evening of the 22nd of August, when one of the main air pressure relief tunnels for the CIA tunnel, located at MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa, Florida, was forced open, allowing millions of cubic feet of air to rush suddenly into the atmosphere. The unique sound of this event was captured by video during a baseball game being played at Tropicana Field near
Welcome
MacDill.
to the Yahoo Sports Minute. The old saying goes, you see something new every time you go to the ballpark. In the case of Monday night at Tropicana Field, fans heard something new. It was a little scary.
That's a haunting sound, if we've ever heard one. Now, what could that possibly be? Somebody shut the door.
Officials blamed the mystery noise on a faulty sound system. This GRU report, however, points out that Russian engineers are well acquainted with this unique sound, as they work feverishly to prepare an additional 5,000 bomb shelters ordered by Prime Minister Putin this last spring to be completed by the end of 2012. Russian engineers were also able to duplicate this unique sound this past March when they were called into the Ukraine to vent a number of deep underground tunnels from poison gas that had killed 3 people near Kiev, and which was likewise captured on video. People from Canada, Lithuania and Scotland have also reported these strange sounds. Listen. Within a few hours of the venting of this vast tunnel complex, this report continues, a nuclear device was detonated at its western terminus, located near Trinidad, Colorado, with the second blast occurring nearly 12 hours later at the eastern terminus near Culpeper, Virginia, and both causing powerful earthquakes felt by tens of millions of Americans. Announced to the vast majority of the American people is that the vast military tunnel network constructed since the early 1960s under their country has cost an estimated $40 trillion, and with the exception of this attack, shows no sign of abating. The only known photo of one of the massive Air Force boring machines used to construct this vast tunnel complex was taken by Little Skull Mountain in Nevada, December 1982, and is similar in design to those used to construct the Channel between England and France. Let's go and have a look at this photo of this big tunneling machine. I've seen those big tunneling machines before. Right. There it is there. That's the big tunneling machine. That's the end that goes in and it goes and just powers through rock. Tunnels and underground bases associated with them have been compiled over the years by many independent researchers along with lists of their probable locations. The specific tunnel attacked by these nuclear devices, this GRU report says, was being used by the CIA during their moving of their headquarters and all of their assets out of their Langley, Virginia location to their new base located in Denver, Colorado. That was begun in 2005 for reasons still not fully explained. The GRU speculates that the timing of this attack in hitting the western terminus first, then the eastern one, was more than likely meant to trap and destroy whatever the CIA was currently moving through this tunnel from Langley to Denver. Most interesting to note is that this attack comes nearly a decade to the day after the September 11th internal war between the CIA and US military establishment that rained destruction upon America and then the world, but whose final battle has yet to be fought or won by either side. To what the final outcome of this titanic struggle will be is not in our knowing, other than to note that when two powerful forces like these collide, as they have done so many times in the past, the ultimate losers end up being the American people, whose delight in total ignorance as to what is happening around them continues to astound the whole world. Oh dear.
That's right. Culpeper has declared a state of emergency. Culpeper schools will be closed tomorrow. We have been reporting all afternoon that they would be closed. Now we understand they will be closed until further notice. An alert came out that students, parents, and visitors would not be allowed into any of the Culpeper County schools until further notice. We also have important new information about other school districts. Fauquier County schools in Virginia also closed tomorrow. Louisa County, right near the epicenter of this quake, also closed. Moving back to Culpeper, we know the Red Cross has now opened an emergency shelter at the Salem Fire Department. Virginia State Police troopers are blocking ramps into the town of Culpeper from the bypass of 29.
The Federal Reserve's Communications and Record Center, Culpeper, Virginia. Until recently, the Federal Reserve Board operated a 140,000 square foot, 13,020 square meter radiation-hardened facility inside Mount Pony, just east of Culpeper, Virginia, near the intersection of State Route 658 and 3. Dedicated on December 10, 1969, the 400-foot-long, 120-meter bunker was built of steel reinforced concrete, 1 foot, 30.5 centimeters thick. Lead-lined shutters could be dropped to shield the windows of the semi-recessed facility, which is covered by 2 to 4 feet, 6.6 to 1.2 meters of dirt, and surrounded by barbed wire fences and a guard post. The 7 computers at the facility, operated by the Federal Reserve Bank of Richmond, were the central node for all American electronic funds transfer activities. Until 1988, Mount Pony stored several $1 billion worth of US currency, including a number of $2 bills, shrink-wrapped and stacked on pallets 9 feet, 2.7 meters high. Following a nuclear attack, this money was to be used to replenish currency supplies east of the Mississippi. Prior to July 1992, the bunker, about 70 miles, 113 kilometers, southwest of Washington, D.C., also served as a continuity of government facility, with a peacetime staff of 100 The site was designed to support an emergency staff of 540 for 30 days, but only 200 beds were provided in the men's and women's dormitories to be shared on a hot bunk basis by the staff working around the clock. A pre-planned menu of freeze-dried foods for the first 30 days of occupation was stored on site. Private wells would provide uncontaminated water following an attack. Other noteworthy features of the facility were a cold storage area for maintaining bodies unable to be promptly buried due to high radiation levels outside, an incinerator, indoor pistol range, and a helicopter landing pad. In November 1997, Congress authorized the transfer of the facility from the Federal Reserve to the Library of Congress, which, using funds from a private foundation, will purchase and renovate the site to house its extensive motion picture, television, and recorded sound collections. So here is a picture of Mount Pony. That's an aerial view of Mount Pony showing how the facility is built into the hillside. And in other words, it's an underground facility. A single guard station at the entrance, which is here, controlled access to the site. There are 119 parking spaces. Alright, now here's the main entrance, so you can clearly see it as an underground facility. They call it recessed, but it's underground, which means it has got tunnels from it, no doubt. The main entrance to the facility, okay, look at those doors. They are big air-locked security doors. The entrance to Mount Pony's ground floor high security vault. A view of the 23,500 square foot vault. The ceiling is 11.6 feet high, or 3.5 meters high. Wow. So isn't that surprising? The Federal Reserve's Communications and Records Center, and they're saying now that it is being used by the Library of Congress, and it's being renovated to house its extensive motion picture, television, and recorded sound collections.